Yeah, and I know kind of what we were discussing a little bit of is some of the tactics that you all utilize so successfully. One of the things I just can't get over watching this match, I was trying to determine who was getting kills early on, but I've noticed it's impossible to do because of these.
I was waiting for the ready, and then you're going to drop your hand, so I didn't know when to go.
Because of the amazing group throws that Saginaw Valley is able to make. I can't keep track of who's getting kills because there's 5 or 6 balls coming out. What do you all do to make sure that you're consistent with those group throws?
Well, you just got to find your release point that's good for you, and make sure you're throwing as a team. And just make sure
after that, it's just common sense.
Yeah.
So, if you had to pick the championship game this year, I would assume you're in it. Who ideally would you like to face in the championship game? Who do you think would make a good final championship game?
Oh, Grand Valley for sure. We want to knock off the.
What is this? Why is this like this?
We want to defend the 3-time national champs.
I just want to point out the camera can't pick this up.
Recording right now?
Yes, it is. I have a grapefruit with a pencil stuck in it as my microphone stand, and for some reason that's just blowing people's minds.
That's an excellent setup, I have to say myself.
Thank you.
Commentary from Miles Shepard.
Yep, there we go. Miles Shepard, 0-0. So, kind of what I'm looking into, I'm trying to get a feel for when teams go into matches, how do you decide how you're going to play the game? For example, did you go into this game against Kansas State the same way that you would go into a game against Grand Valley?
Well, truthfully, no. I mean, Kansas State, this is their second game of their last 5 years probably. So we knew coming in we were going to be able to do what we're doing to them. So we played the first few points hard, and now we're just trying to, take care of our arms and make sure we're saving something left for our next couple games, and especially tomorrow.
So when you go up against Grand Valley has a very, at least what I noticed in Nationals last year, they have a very set, very established form of defense where they kind of split the field into 2 sides. How do you combat a team like Grand Valley that has a really well-set defensive strategy, but it is also such an offensive powerhouse?
Yeah, well, strategically, like you say, Grand Valley's, nobody's better than Grand Valley, but you just got to make sure you're on your counters. Like when they throw, you just got to counter-attack them and hope you catch somebody that hasn't gotten back, but you just got to stick to your game plan and pick them up where they make mistakes.
Yeah. I'd asked earlier, who are the people that Saginaw Valley just cannot afford to lose in a game? For example, let's say if you were to get into the championship game against Grand Valley, who are the players that you just have to make sure stay in the game?
Well, I'd say Jordan Elliott, number 11 for sure. Number 33, Josh, Brett Traeger for sure. Jason Steins, probably the best catcher in the league. I don't know how he didn't make the All-Star team, but I think. And then on top of that, we just have a deep team. So I mean, so even if those people do get out, like we're all confident that we're good dodgeball players too.
What's the one thing that you think Saginaw Valley needs to work on? What are the things at practices that you all are always drilling each other on and trying to improve?
Well, probably playing as a team. Like when the games that we're playing as a team, we're beating teams like Grand Valley and Michigan State. But when we play our own game and throw alone and don't counter like we should, we've lost to those teams. So if we can get rid of our bad habits, like we should be able to beat anybody.
10, 11, 12, 13.
All right, we are coming up on the 8-minute mark. 8 minutes left in this first half. More than enough time for Saginaw Valley to stack on another point. Where does the wisdom lie in a game this early? This is your all second game today?
This is our first game.
First game. This is your first game. Where does the wisdom lie this early in a 2-day tournament? At what point do you just say, okay, from here on out we're going to coast this game, or do you all ever just start coasting during a game?
Well, I guess coasting might not be the word to use. Just we still try as hard as we can. We just might not throw as hard as we can. We're still trying to counter as hard as we can. We do catch as hard as we can. Yeah. We still want to throw our arms out at this point.
Yeah, I know one of the tactics that Western makes use of is the captain, Felix Peroni, has a call that he'll make somewhere during a game saying, from here on out it's catching practice. Yeah. He said you throw to kill the shot clock, but you don't do anything else but catch, and it's a good opportunity to get catching practice against other teams without just flaking off and giving up.
Yeah. got Jason Stein with a great kill.
Jason Stein with an amazing headshot right to the neck. Woo.
Hey, hit your ball and you dropped it.
Hey guys, that's the referee, not you guys.
No. He threw it. It was right here.
Well, on a side note, I think one of the things that's keeping dodgeball behind is the lack of good officials. Not saying these guys are doing bad, but just something we've come across through the years I've been in this is.
I think the biggest problem, and these officials here, WQ's Captain Felix has been training these guys for weeks. They've been in practices. He's shown them game videos. I think the biggest problem is it's not like other sports. It's not quite as cut and dry.
It's definitely difficult.
Yeah, we don't have access to replays. We don't have, in this case, the national tournament, we have one ref per court, which is not ideal. And so, I mean, it happens in professional sports too. Refs make calls that might very obviously be wrong. It's just in this, the rule that we've kind of established is if the ref says it, it's law.
Done.
Oh! Spencer Jardine trying to make the throw. Didn't quite do it.
Hey, you're out.
You gotta go in the net.
He's stepping on the court. He's out. He's out.
Hey, ref, if they keep yelling back and forth, you need to pause and tell them to cut back. There's zero tolerance on that. Emotions run high. It's a very physical, very aggressive game.
I think that has to do with one team not knowing all the rules.